Yo. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sunburned Albino plays Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair, episode 34. We were in the middle of Nagito's trial. And, yeah. It has been, it's been revealed that as a possibility that Nagito set up this entire thing himself. And we're now traveling down that logic path.
Whatever became of that?
He was probably planning to kill the traitor along with the rest of us.
So why did he not just do that in the first place? If he had no qualms with killing everyone, he did not have to cause a bomb scare to reveal the traitor.
I bet the bomb scare was part of the strategy behind this trick. He made us split up and search for a bomb so none of us would have an alibi. He created a scenario where any of us could have killed him.
He tried to make us doubt each other, and tried to hide the truth behind his suicide.
Did he cause a bomb scare for that reason alone?
He's a fucking bastard who killed himself for his delusions of grandeur. It's not that unthinkable.
You are right, I suppose.
Yeah, it appears we've come to a conclusion. Bastard Nagito committed suicide. It was all done by him so we'd be executed.
That should be okay, right? Right?
What? You're not satisfied yet?
No, I agree that Nagito killed himself, but I feel like there's something that doesn't make sense. It's probably just my imagination.
Why? I mean, I sort of understand what she's talking about. I don't think it's a mistake to assume that Nagito committed suicide, but why do I feel so uneasy about it? Is it because we don't know who the traitor is, or...
So what are you gonna do? Is it okay to proceed with the voting time?
What do you think, Akane?
Well, there's no doubt Nagito's death was a suicide. Oh well, I guess my gut is wrong sometimes.
You're right. It is not as though we can draw any other conclusion.
Then it's okay to end it here, huh? That means we're done with this last class trial and we can leave this island, right? It's okay to reach such a happy ending, right?
Then it's okay? It's okay to say, you've decided on the killer? Understood. Then voting time.
No, hold on a sec.
Hold on. Why?
Sorry, just a little more. I want you guys to wait just a little more. I can't help but feel like there's still something we overlooked.
Like who the traitor is?
But the issue here is who killed Nagito, right? Even if we identify the traitor, the conclusion won't change.
That's true, but...
The mystery isn't just about who the traitor is.
Huh?
No matter how you look at it, Nagito's death is a suicide. But I'm a little worried, you know? I'm worried about starting the voting time while there's still a mystery.
Hey, what do you mean it's not about who the traitor is? What kind of mystery is left?
There's just one thing that doesn't make sense, and it relates to Nagito's death. Plus, it's something even Nagito couldn't influence. He couldn't even tamper with the evidence for it.
Something related to Nagito's death, and it's something that even he couldn't have messed with.
You're gonna keep going? Here I thought we were finally finished.
Something related to Nagito's death. A piece of evidence that even he couldn't mess with.
Crap!
No. Oh yeah, something related to his death. No.
Crap!
No. Aha! No.
Crap!
Is it Monokuma's account?
Crap!
No. I mean, something related to his death, though, you know? So it's like... what is it?
Crap!
No.
Crap!
No. What is it?
Crap!
Ah. I've only got one more. It can't be the piece of blue paper. That's like the only thing it can't be.
Crap!
No, that wasn't it either. I can't go on any longer. I don't have any more options.
We will never give up!
Yep. Just wait for the bar to reset. The Monokuma file?
I see!
Wow.
Is it about the Monokuma file?
Yeah, that's it.
Huh? There was something suspicious in the Monokuma file?
The estimated time of death is believed to be noon sharp. Not only is there a spear, multiple stab wounds in each of his thighs, furthermore is a laceration on his left arm, and a knife impaled through his right hand. The suspicious part of the Monokuma file that Shaku is worried about is... what is it? What's hidden in the Monokuma file? Oh, dear God. Well, it's time to just brute force it. Yeah. No. Cast. No. Cause. There's so many of these. Look at all of them. Dude. No, don't do that. Ridiculous is what this is right now. Oh my goodness. Cause of death. Give me that H.
I got it! In this particular case's Monokuma file, there's no specific cause of death.
Isn't that weird? Until now, the files always specified the cause of death.
But the cause of death is obvious, is it not? The spear in Nagito's stomach. It is obvious just by looking at it that it was a cause of death.
Maybe it's not included if it's not important enough to write about.
Well, Monokuma, I plead the fifth!
There he goes again! I'm so appalled that I have nothing to say. But even during Gundam's case, and before during Nikon's case, the thing he purposely omitted from the Monokuma file was always the most important mystery in the case.
Are you saying that applies this time too?
Hold on a sec. Then, are you saying there's more to Nagito's death? Are you suggesting, again, that his death wasn't a suicide?
You guys were the ones who said it was a suicide in the first place.
No, I don't think it's a mistake to call Nagito's death a suicide, but it's not just a suicide. Come to think of it, did Nagito really commit suicide just to get us all killed?
Are you sticking up for him?
That's not what I meant. I mean it in a bad sense.
Bad sense?
I just remembered that his malice always defied our expectations. And that concerns me. For example, would that malice just end here?
Huh?
Did Nagito's malice drive him to risk his life for a truth we'd reach this easily? I mean, this is Nagito we're talking about, you know?
How interesting! You sure do believe in Nagito, huh? Because you believe in his malice, you continue to suspect his malice. I see. I guess that's what passes for friendship these days.
What friendship?
What should we do, you guys? Should we proceed with the vote? I think we should keep going until everyone is satisfied. Even if it's just to be safe.
You're right. We only get one chance to vote after all.
Just to be safe, huh? Guess I have no choice. If that's the case, I'll do my best to go along with it.
This is friggin' annoying. But if you guys say you're doing it, there's no way I'm gonna back out.
Hey, Monokuma, you heard us. The voting's gonna have to wait!
We've come this far. Let's work hard till the very end. If we work together, everything should be all right. That's what I believe.
Oh, splendid. You guys are so splendid right now. That's right. If all your hopes are united, no despair can shake you.
If all your hopes are united, no despair can shake you, huh? Now that I think about it, Nagito said the same thing. The absolute hope that can overcome any despair. He said he was yearning for that. Then this situation we're in might be the thing that Nagito wanted all along. No, never mind. I'm probably overthinking. Suspended?
No!
Man, my heart was racing like crazy when I thought the voting time was gonna start, but... Well, if you think about it rationally, there's no way it was gonna happen. We haven't done this bit yet. Most of the players probably figured that out too. You're the only one who didn't know. Isn't that right, Monami? Hey, how much longer are you planning to sulk? Let's get along like we always do. Alright, you passed. Friendship is measured by how long you can stand the silence when you're all alone with someone else. So, Monami and I are the bestest of best friends.
Don't say such stupid things. I hate you so much right now.
Enough! Why do I have to be hated that much?
Besides the fact that you snap at me like that, I don't trust you at all. Not even a teensy tiny 1 millimeter bit.
How sad. Distrusting your friend is much more shameful than being betrayed by that friend, you know?
We aren't even friends in the first place.
And as your older brother, let me say this.
You're not even my brother.
It's sad to live a life without friendship. That's even sadder than watching a high school rom-com full of guys.
Well, there may be some demands for that. I fell for it. I totally took the man bait.
Yeah, I'll save my progress right now. Thank you for asking.
I'm Monami. By now, there's nothing more for me to say. Anyway, my chest is full of pride right now. Everyone is united against despair. They're totally awesome. That's why I'm gonna fight too. I will fight the only way I can. I'm gonna show that guy my fearsome retaliation. That's basically it.
So if we're working together, where do we start? With the cause of death missing from the Monokuma file?
Why don't we try removing all our preconceived notions before we discuss this? In the beginning, our discussion advanced by assuming Nagito's death was caused by the spear. It's better to confirm if there are any other possibilities. That's what I think.
Other possibilities. Huh.
If something other than the spear killed Nagito, all I can think of is the knife stabbed into his hand, but...
That was definitely a gruesome wound, but it wouldn't be the fatal wound, don't you think?
If you think the cuts on his legs and left arm aren't the fatal wounds...
Are we finished already?
I feel like... It's possible that we overlooked something.
Overlooked, huh?
Then let's bring up whatever we can think of, one after the other. That might clear some things up.
Exactly. We should cooperate at a time like this.
A fatal wound that wasn't the spear. We don't even know if it actually exists, but if it does, we need to find out what it is no matter what. Could it be the poison? Oil lighter, piece of blue paper, Monokuma special poison.
Let us consider a different fatal wound.
It's not the knife in his right hand, right? It's not the other wounds, right?
With all those wounds, maybe he simply bled to death.
There's no way he burned to death.
Was the cause of death something that cannot be seen?
There
I agree
you go,
with that.
Sonia.
That's it. I totally forgot about that possibility. If the cause of death was something we can't see, then we have to consider poison as a possible method.
Poison?
It is true that poison is not something we can see, but why did you bring that up all of a sudden?
I remember, when I went to investigate Nagito's cottage, I discovered something really strange. Inside the refrigerator, I found a bottle of Monokuma's special poison.
Poison?
Additionally, that's a poison made specifically for killing. I see. Now that you mention it, there's no way a toxin like that doesn't relate to the case at all.
If poison was the cause of death, it would not leave an obvious wound on Nagito's body.
However, it's common for blood blotches to appear on a body that's been poisoned.
I see. You sure seem to know a lot about medicine.
What does that mean?
But even if blood blotches appear, if the body was already covered in blood, there's no way we'd notice them easily, right?
Did he wound his body just to camouflage them?
That's also a possibility.
But still, both of Nagito's hands were full. So how would he drink poison?
His left hand was tied up and gripping the spear, and his right hand had a knife stuck in it.
If it was a slow-acting poison, it is possible he consumed it in advance.
No, the warning label on the bottle explicitly states the effect is instant.
Then it's impossible. Both his hands were full just before he died.
And this is when the hardtail appears.
You're totally overvaluing that tail.
His mouth was covered with duct tape, you know. If he wanted to drink poison, how'd he get it past his lips?
If there's no way he could have drank the poison, it might be impossible. Just kidding. It's not like we're out of possibilities yet.
Are there any left?
Hell no. No matter how you slice it, he was totally killed by that spear.
Since we've already ruled out so many possibilities, it might be easier to think about what really killed him. Operation Elimination Method. The hint should be written on the poison's warning label. Maybe.
The way the poison entered Nagito's body, the answer is written on the warning label. Should think carefully and try to remember it. Okay. That was close. I am mildly at a loss here. Because the blue piece of paper couldn't have dabbed the poison onto him. What state was the poison in when it affected Nagito? It was a gas. That's right, because it can turn to gas and it's heavier than air. It's also susceptible to hydrolysis, whatever that means. I forgot. But then, like... So he had a gas mask and gloves, but all that stuff was, like, back at his house. Okay, well, that was fun. So, like, if he made all these preparations and then did the deed in the warehouse, how did he get all the supplies back to his cottage? How did the poison enter Nagito's body? Through his wounds. Nope. Well, then it was through his nose, because I saw the blue thing go all the way. Okay. Oh, that's it.
It's all coming together! What if instead of drinking the poison, we assume he inhaled it?
Inhaled?
It's written on the poison's warning label.
This enchanted liquid is highly potent, takes effect immediately, please handle with care. Though its volatility is low, this liquid is very dangerous when vaporized.
Dangerous when vaporized. In other words, breathing in the gas is fatal.
Poison gas! Then all he had to do was breathe it in through his nose!
He breathed that poisonous gas inside the warehouse? But if poisonous gas had spread throughout the warehouse, why didn't it kill us?
The reason we didn't breathe in the poisonous gas should be able to explain that mystery too. Here's the fire. No.
Crap!
The smoke? Oh, it's susceptible to hydrolysis.
I see! The sprinklers in the warehouse. Thanks to those, we didn't inhale that poison gas.
The poison gas disappeared because of the sprinklers? It wasn't the fire?
Well, this was also written on the poison's warning label.
In a gaseous state, it is heavier than air, it breaks down in minutes, and is susceptible to hydrolysis. So it is possible for you to poison someone to death without any complications.
Of course! Hydrolysis! The chemical bonds that form the poison were broken down by the water from the sprinklers!
Also, the poison is apparently denser than air, so it probably didn't affect us because we were standing.
But Nagito was laying down, so he must have breathed in a whole bunch of it, huh?
If it meets the requirements that well, maybe it's not just a possibility anymore.
Yeah, the true cause of Nagito's death was poisoning. The wounds on his body, the spear in his stomach, it was all to keep us from learning the truth.
So what?
Huh?
We figured out that Nagito died from poison, but so what? In the end, it doesn't change the fact that he committed suicide, right? Then enough already!
Nagito inhaled the poison he prepared and died. Yeah, that still sounds like a suicide.
Well, with this, we have a clearer picture. We've also determined the true cause of death. All right, all the mysteries should be solved now. We should get on with the voting time, right?
Well, but...
What? There's still more?
I mean, not all the mysteries have been solved yet. In the end, Nagito's motive is still unclear. Did he commit suicide just so we could kill every last one of us? Was that really his motive? Is that really okay?
Hey, what happened? There's
Maybe
no
he
reason to
finally,
wonder about that stuff
worked
anymore, you
with
know.
the traitor. You know what I mean? So that they could live and kill everyone, get away with murder. Nagito's murder. Nagito's motive, Nagito's malice. Is this really okay? Can we really finish this here? No, that can't
There
be.
might have been an accomplice.
Huh?
Chiaki, what did you just say?
If Nagito committed suicide by inhaling poison that he brought, then why wasn't there anything that looked like poison at the crime scene?
Anything that looked like poison?
If Nagito brought poison to the warehouse,
Exactly,
it's
that's
strange
what I
that we couldn't
said.
find
Someone
it
had to
there.
take it back. If Nagito really brought poison to the warehouse, then the thing that would have been left behind is the meat on the bone. You fucking assholes.
I see! Are you talking about the container the poison was kept in?
Yeah. If Nagito brought it, It's strange we couldn't find that container anywhere, right?
He can't carry around poison without putting it in a container?
Yeah, that was written on the warning label.
Keep this liquid secure by storing nickel plates in a glass or plastic container away from sunlight.
The container probably melted in the fire.
It's probably plastic or glass, right? There's no way it'd completely incinerate. Even the plastic fragments of the fire grenades we used to put out the fire didn't completely burn up, you know?
Then, does that mean someone got rid of the container?
So that's why you mentioned an accomplice.
That is impossible! I mean, an accomplice? It is just too...
Like, does that really matter all that much? I mean, even if he had an accomplice, it doesn't change the fact that Nagito still committed suicide.
You're right. Someone might have accidentally took it away from the crime scene.
Ah, you're right! You're totally right! That's totally it!
Right? Isn't it okay to close this case yet? I'm not in the mood for unexpected twists.
I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to get hurt anymore by hurting someone else. Everyone's tired of doubting everyone else. I also feel that way. That's why I want to just rule this as Nagito's suicide. If I do that, nobody here has to get hurt. But
That's no good.
Huh?
I feel like Nagito is seeing through us. By calling this Nagito's suicide, we're trying to take the easy way out so we don't hurt anyone else. But if Nagito was here right now, he'd probably be sneering at us. He'd probably say something like, "So that's the extent of your hopes."
So Nagito's ghost is whispering to you, huh? The power of friendship bursts beyond death, huh? A fiery outcome like this is right out of a teen manga. Still, that's pretty messed up.
Shut up! You just be quiet.
I get what you're saying, but in the end, the reason he died is still the same as before, right? Even if we solve this mystery, the conclusion won't change at all.
I mean, it'd be a suicide regardless, right?
Even if there really was an accomplice, is there any reason we should take the time to figure out who it is? Like Fuyuhiko said earlier, it is possible that somebody accidentally removed the poison from the crime scene.
But I just can't imagine ending this by turning our backs on the truth.
It's fine, okay? There are some things we're better off not knowing. And we probably just didn't notice it. Like maybe the container was hiding with the fire grenade fragments.
what is this feeling just now? Even though it was brief, it was like a strong flash of light running through the back of my head. Maybe what Akane said just now might be a new clue. From there, I might be able to reach the answer. The way Nagito brought the poison, which means the thing he used as a container was... Oh, fuck if I know, man. Fire grenade... Oh! One of the fire grenades had the poison in it, and they threw it directly at Nagito. They threw it further behind the curtain. Holy shit. Yo, that's actually amazing. No, not that. Oh!
I got it! I see! I got it!
Huh?
The fire grenades! Nagito put the poison inside one of the fire grenade canisters and transported it to the warehouse.
He used one of the fire grenade canisters?
Yeah, the container with the poison in it wasn't secretly taken away by someone. Instead, it was in a container that didn't need to be taken away in the first place. As long as he put the poison in the same container he brought to the warehouse. It can be hidden with the other fire grenades we used, so there's no need to dispose of the container later.
That bastard. He totally knew we were gonna throw those fire grenades.
Which means, did Nagito exchange the contents of a fire grenade?
Yeah, that has to be it.
When I first discovered those fire grenades, I tried to study them a little bit, but the canister was completely sealed shut by a layer of aluminum underneath the lid.
You just have to peel off that seal and swap the insides, right?
That is true, but there was no sign he was even at the break room.
That's what the aluminum paper under his bed was for?
Hold on. Did you say aluminum?
Hajime. Could it be?
If so, then there's no mistake. Nagito definitely swapped the contents of one of the fire grenades.
Seriously? That's impossible. Miss Sonia just said so right now.
Sonia's words are proof that the poison was swapped with the contents of a fire grenade.
Huh?
Sonia's words contain a clue that the contents of a fire grenade were swapped with the poison. Bum 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 ba-dum, piece of blue goddamn paper.
I can prove it with this. Take a look. We found this under Nagito's bed when we were investigating his cottage.
Huh? That's just a piece of trash.
No, that is not just a piece of trash. The seal I saw on that fire grenade matched this. It is the same aluminum.
You found the aluminum seal under Nagito's bed?
There's more. That's not the only thing we found in Nagito's room. We also found a gas mask and gloves under his bed, too.
Did he use those when he put the poison inside the fire grenade?
It's a dangerous poison after all. He took extreme caution when swapping them.
So what's the issue? Nagito put the poison in the grenade canister, brought it with him, breathed it in, and died, right? So in the end, he still fucking committed suicide. Enough already!
You're right. If the canister wasn't thrown away, then it just means that there wasn't an accomplice after all.
See, I told you. The conclusion is still the same. Nagito committed suicide. End of story.
I admit that there wasn't an accomplice. That was just my misunderstanding.
You're right.
In actuality, the truth is even more horrifying.
What did you say?
Hey, what are you planning to say now?
What the hell? Do you still want to keep going?
Is this not settled? There is no denying that Nagito's death was a suicide.
No, it's not.
Chiaki?
I'm sorry, but I just realized it.
Realized what?
We know Nagito used the grenade canister to store the poison. So when was it deployed in the warehouse? When did Nagito breathe in the poison? When I thought along those lines, that's when I realized it.
The horrifying truth?
It probably happened at the same time.
The moment the fire grenades were brought and the moment Nagito breathed in the poison were the same? Could that same moment be...
I see! Are you saying it was when we all threw the fire grenades?
Yeah, I think so. When we all threw the grenades to put out the fire in the warehouse, the poison was deployed, and it converted to poison gas and killed Nagito.
If that is true, then the person who brought the poison and spread it was...
One of us.
What the heck?
One of us threw the poison grenade that killed Nagito?
Hold on a sec. Then Nagito was...
It would mean he didn't kill himself.
What the heck? But you said so yourself! You said Nagito committed suicide!
Then who killed Nagito?
You mean, who's the actual killer, right?
Do you know?
Who prepared the poison fire grenade that killed Nagito?
Huh? The person who prepared the poison fire grenade was...
I see! It was Nagito, obviously. We just discussed this a few minutes ago.
Then who set the warehouse fire that caused one of us to throw the poisoned grenade?
The person who set the warehouse fire was...
I see! That was also Nagito.
Hey, how many times are you gonna ask the same damn question?
The next question will be my last. Considering all the facts up till now, why did Nagito set the warehouse on fire?
The reason Nagito set the warehouse on fire.
I see! Don't tell me. He set the warehouse on fire just so we'd have to throw the fire grenades?
He set the fire just so we'd put it out? Why'd he do that?
It was a trap.
A trap?
Preparing the poison. Creating a reason for us to throw the poison. It was all a setup by Nagito. It was all a trap to make one of us throw the poison grenade.
Seriously, I'm asking you who threw it.
I don't know. The person who threw it probably didn't know either.
Huh? Could it be... Was that Nagito's trap?
This wasn't an intentional murder. This was a murder that Nagito forced someone to do. And for that reason, he put the fire grenade that he filled with poison with the other grenades. Setting up a murder nobody can solve. That was Nagito's true goal.
What? What the hell?
Nagito did not commit murder. Instead, he manipulated someone else into killing him? To do that, he set a trap to force someone to kill him. The poison grenade and the fire were traps. That's why the curtain was the fire's origin point. All the fire grenades we threw at the curtain shattered once they fell to the floor. Because of that, Nagito, who was laying face up on the floor, was able to breathe in the dense poison. And then...
Hold on! If that's true, you can't say the poison was the cause of death. It might be the poison's fault he let go of the spear, but the actual cause of death could be either one.
Even so, the poison is what caused him to let go of the spear.
That's right! Nagito's killer is the one who made him breathe the poison!
Are you fucking serious?
That was his trap all along. Even the wounds all over his body, it was all to mess with the evidence for what actually happened. His true goal was creating a murder that nobody can solve. He wanted to prove to us that there are mysteries that just can't be solved with educated guesses.
He probably expected that his fake suicide would be found out. After all, a mystery that can be solved is destined to be solved in the end. However, he also prepared a mystery that couldn't be solved. As you solve mysteries and bolster your hope, a huge mystery comes along and slaps you in your faces. For those of you who believe there are no unsolvable mysteries, that is when you finally taste despair. Meaning, he used all of the prior class trial verdicts to prepare this trick. Not all mysteries can be solved. Such a devious trick he played on you, as expected of Nagito.
That's totally messed up. That's so fucked up.
It is my fault, because I told you all about the fire grenades. I am so sorry. Please vote me as the killer.
That's not the fucking issue here.
It's not Miss Sonia's fault. This is all Nagito's doing.
But what should we do? How can we even figure out who the killer is?
It's impossible.
Impossible?
Nagito wanted to create a scenario where we couldn't make a decision. That's why we're at an impasse.
However, Monokuma also does not know who the killer is, right?
That's right. There's no way he'd be able to figure that out with just his surveillance cameras. If Monokuma doesn't know, this trial doesn't count. Isn't that right?
You know, I don't actually need stuff like cheap-ass surveillance cameras or whatever. I know perfectly well what's happening on this island at all times. I know you used the bathroom 3 times yesterday, Sonia. And one of those visits seemed to take a while.
Please stop! I will never become queen!
How can you? I'm so jealous. I mean, How can you have such an awful power?
So, of course this trial still counts. Do your very best to guess who the killer is.
Yes, he says. How the hell are we supposed to do that?
Is giving up all we can do?
No, it's too early to give up.
Is there any way to figure out who the killer is?
Even though it's just a hunch, it's possible that it's probably... There's one way, I think.
Really?
Hey, is it alright if we look at Nagito's crime one more time from the beginning? I want to make sure my hunch is correct. Hajime, please.
That's right. It doesn't mean the trial is over yet. Even though I don't know who killed Nagito, it should be clear what kind of trap he set. Then I have to do it, even if it leads to despair.
I got it. Let's do this then.
Alright, closing argument. 1 of 12. Okay, what do we have? Plushie is ready. Poison from the shattered grenade is. Sprinklers activate. There's lots of fire grenades. Now. Okay. That's it. And then gonna go all the way down here and probably look for the poison from the shattered grenades. Yeah. And then the sprinklers activate. The sprinklers activating is already a thing. And that explosion is already a thing, so the plushie is gonna be ready here. Okay, I'll just put this oil lighter here. Nagito appears at the restaurant. Don't that has anything to do with anything. Oops, I let go of the cord and the spear is dangling. The spear is dangling right there. That'll be over this way. There's that. The reason we went to the warehouse doesn't matter. Still going here. That's happening. Oh, I'll just put this oil lighter here. That would be one of the further things that he does. Oh no, you didn't let go of the cord there. Right, that's, yeah. There you go. And then, oops, I let go of the cord. Will be down this way. After you throw the grenades. There you go. Stock number 3. Okay, we're moving back. The reason we went into the warehouse was, let's remove the lid, let's line up the Monokuma panels. Be careful when performing switcheroos. Nagito's video message was that, yes. And then, in order to hurt himself, that's not any of these. How did he support the spear? That's not any of those. His whole body wasn't tied up. That's this. Going there. Great. And this is the last stock, probably. Or there's 2 more. Putting the duct tape over my mouth. Monokuma's special poison is in here. Cool. No? Okay. There you go. And the last stop. Here we are. How did he support the spear? That way. And then here, his whole body wasn't tied up because the burned rope.
Here's everything that happened in this case. The person who actually arranged this incident was the victim, Nagito Komaeda. He kept a specific item inside his cottage that he needed for his plan, Monokuma's special poison, which he brought with him from the Octagon. Using the gloves and gas mask that he got from the military base, Nagito swapped the contents of a fire grenade he took from the plushie factory break room with that poison. When he did that, a specific item was left as evidence, the blue aluminum seal on the grenade. With that, Nagito finished making the poisoned fire grenade, took it with him to the factory, and put it back with the rest of the grenades in the break room. The next morning, Nagito appeared before us and declared that he hid a bomb somewhere. While we were looking for the bomb, that's when Nagito headed over to the goods warehouse. In order to set up a fire, Nagito arranged the Monokuma panels in a line going from the door to the curtain and placed an oil lighter in front of it. From there, Nagito set his insane plan in motion. First, he hung the spear that he took from Nezumi Castle from the ceiling girder by its cord. Then he tied his arms and legs at the back of the warehouse with rope. However, he burnt off the rope on his right arm beforehand. In doing so, he made sure that only his right hand was free, while his remaining arm and legs were tied up. As he gripped the tip of the rope hanging over the ceiling girder with his left hand, he lay down face up, just beneath the dangling spear. But this was just the beginning of Nagito's plan. And then, he did something no one could have predicted. First, he covered his mouth with duct tape, and after making sure he was unable to scream, he stabbed himself with the knife multiple times in his left arm and in both of his thighs. Finally, he propped the knife on the plushie and slammed his right hand onto the blade. He didn't just want us to think he was tied up. He also wanted us to think he'd been tortured. Through all this, Nagito never let go of the spear. His plan still wasn't over. In fact, it was just about to begin. Meanwhile, we finally arrived at the plushie factory and found Nagito's message. After seeing his message, we instantly made our way to the warehouse. But that was part of Nagito's plan. We opened the door to the warehouse, which inadvertently started the Monokuma panel domino effect. The panels fell one after another until they reached the lighter, tipped it over, and ignited the curtain. Shocked by the sudden fire, we rushed to the factory's break room to obtain some fire-extinguishing grenades. We then aimed for the fire's origin point, which was the curtain, and unloaded the entire supply. It never occurred to us that one of those grenades was the poisoned grenade that Nagito had prepared. The poison sank to the floor, instantly vaporizing due to the intense heat, and spread everywhere. The poison gas quickly drifted to the curtain at the back of the warehouse, where Nagito was. Also, Monokuma's poison has a unique quality in which it becomes heavier than air when vaporized. That poison gas completely surrounded the area where Nagito lay face up on the floor. There, Nagito inhaled the poison, and if it didn't instantly kill him, he certainly lost consciousness. Which caused him to let go of the rope in his left hand, and the falling spear plunged into his stomach. This is all the information related to Nagito's plan. His true intention was to set one of us up as the killer. At this time, we still don't know who the killer is, because the killer wasn't aware they killed someone. Try as we might, we cannot reach that truth. That was Nagito's trap. In conclusion, the fact that we can't determine the killer's identity. This should be the truth behind Nagito's trap.
How about it, Chiaki? Will that help you figure out who the killer is?
Chiaki?
Just as I thought. It's impossible, isn't it?
Are you saying we just have to vote for someone?
What Hajime said is probably true. That's part of the reason why I thought it was a little strange. Did Nagito really not care who the killer was?
Huh?
He said this to us earlier.
It's going to be fine. I'm pretty sure everything will work out in the end. After all, there's no way hope can lose. Absolute hope that can break through any despair can never lose in a place like this. And not only that, I believe in you all. I believe in the time we spent together.
That feeling of belief is at the heart of his trick. He believed we'd notice the fire grenades. He believed we'd try to extinguish the flames. And he believed we'd fall into his trap. By believing in us, Nagito was able to put his life-threatening plan into effect.
What do you mean, believe?
And what's wrong with that?
There's one more thing, remember? Something that Nagito believed in from the bottom of his heart. I want you to try to remember what that is.
What Nagito believed in.
I see! Nagito believed in his talent as the ultimate lucky student.
After all the time we've spent together, I believe in you guys. And more than anything, I believe in my ultimate luck. So, it's definitely going to be alright.
Guess the last thing he could believe in was his own talent.
That's not so strange, really. Most of us here have been relying on the same thing.
But, in his case, it was pretty remarkable, wasn't it? It almost seemed like he had blind faith in it.
You're right. The same thing happened when he cleared the final dead room at the funhouse.
It wasn't life-threatening at all. It was just a little escape game that ended with some Russian roulette.
Russian roulette? It's a game where you load one bullet in a gun, spin the cylinder, point it toward you, and pull the trigger. So you really did it.
Ah, so that's how you're supposed to play it. So it would have been fine if I'd only used one bullet, huh? I guess it was just as Monami said.
Huh?
I misunderstood and thought that I had to take one bullet out of the cylinder. So that's how I did it.
You only had a 1 in 6 chance of surviving.
But I'm still alive. After all, the only good thing about me is how lucky I am.
And he did the same thing when the first killing happened at the old building near the hotel. He depended on his luck and was able to get cleaning duty just as he wanted.
That's right, I just trusted my luck. I trusted I'd be picked for cleaning duty.
You just relied on your luck?
It's not just luck, it's true my talent is trash, but I'm still the ultimate lucky student, you know? Huh? I'm left with the red mark?
For someone called the ultimate lucky student, you don't seem very lucky right now.
At the time, Hajime said I wasn't lucky, but it was actually the opposite. I was lucky! That's why I got picked for cleaning duty, just like I wanted!
But his luck doesn't have anything to do with the case this time, right?
I just thought it was strange that it doesn't connect to anything.
Huh?
He factored in his belief in us. But for some reason, he didn't factor in his own luck. No, there's no way.
Maybe the traitor
Nagito we're
is the
talking
one who
about.
threw the poisoned grenade, and he trusted that that would be the case.
What did he do?
You know, he wasn't just after anybody. He probably had a target. A target he was aiming for all along. A person to set up as the killer.
A target? Who?
The target's true identity. Even Nagito didn't know it. That's why he relied on being the ultimate lucky student, and incorporated that luck into his plan. As long as he had his luck, he believed the target he was after would pick up the fire grenade.
You mean he left his plan to luck?
He risked his life for that?
He probably risked his life just so his ultimate luck could decide this.
Who is it? Who's the target Nagito is after?
No, I don't even have to ask. I should already know what the answer is.
I see! That's it? The traitor. Nagito was after the traitor, huh?
Then he relied on his luck to weed out the traitor?
Nagito didn't know who the traitor was until the very end. All he could do was rely on his own luck.
Then what he said in his video message.
It won't work with just any student handbook. If you want to disarm that bomb, you have to use the Traitor's student handbook. To be honest, I found out who the traitor was after secretly monitoring everyone's activity, but I was a little annoyed that they never came forward.
So he was just bluffing.
That's probably true. By that point, his plan should have already been in motion.
Then it's just as Nagito said at the beginning. His purpose was to weed out the traitor. If we'd just believed in what Nagito said, we would have reached the answer much quicker. The reason this took so damn long, was it really because we didn't believe in
But
him?
if he just wanted to out the traitor, he didn't have to go this far and make that person the killer. Damn it! We're all in a huge bind because of that!
It means he wants us to beat the traitor.
By finding out who the traitor is, our hopes will shine even brighter by overcoming that despair. That's something he'd say.
Mon ami, it looks like you've got something you want to say. But you better just keep your mouth shut.
And that concludes my argument. Nagito's plan was to make the traitor kill him. What are you gonna do? Are you guys gonna believe me?
He relied on his luck to aim for a target, but he didn't even know who he was aiming for. It sounds way too unbelievable to actually happen, but...
The only thing we can do is believe.
If we don't, then we'd just be relying on our luck when we cast our votes.
But even if we do believe, what should we do? I mean, if we don't know who the target is, there's no way we can even vote.
You are absolutely right. It is hard to think the traitor would reveal themselves now.
If, by chance, the traitor revealed themselves during that bomb scare, what would have happened? Would it have stopped Nagito from acting so reckless?
Huh?
But they couldn't help it. Even if they wanted to reveal themselves, they couldn't do it because they weren't created to do that.
Chiaki?
What's wrong, Chiaki? Get a hold of yourself!
That's why I want you guys to guess.
You want us to guess?
Yeah, I want you to guess.
What? What does that mean?
Who do you think it is, Hajime? Who do you think the Future Foundation sent to infiltrate your group as the traitor?
Why?
A traitor who's not allowed to think that they're different from everyone else.
Why?
A traitor who can only interact with everyone as a traitor.
Why?
Why?
Because that's the nature of their existence. They can only exist as a traitor.
Seriously, why?
Who do you think is the traitor? Hajime, please.
It's... you? Chiaki, you're the traitor?
Please! Hold on!
Aw, you totally guessed right. Just as expected. Yep, you're correct. I'm the traitor. The agent sent by the Future Foundation to hide among you all is me.
Damn it. Why? This is... I mean, this nonsense is... Why? Why does this make sense?
Hey, Chiaki, are you being serious right now?
Chiaki is the traitor? That is a lie, right? Surely you must be joking.
Well, that's gonna do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see